Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping back by. I am Tia, and today we are doing a Writers Wednesday, which I usually don't do over here. Every now and then I might put out a writing related post, and I definitely did a few for NaNoWriMo back in November, but I want to bring that in now because, of course, it is Black History Month. I have selected some books that I plan to read this month. I'm hoping I can get them all done because I'm starting a little late. This is the second Wednesday of the month, which means I've already lost a little over a week of time in my reading. I've read something else and I was trying to get that finished before I dove into these books. But before I knew it, February was here. We're already 2 Wednesdays in, and I wanted to make sure that I shared these books with you and did my utmost to finish them before the end of the month. I have 5 here. If I am disciplined, I can certainly read 5 books before the end of February. And if I've finished the 5 books before the end of the month, I will start a 6th book, perhaps even a 7th, depending on how well I do. And I will share that in a subsequent video, just kind of telling you some of my thoughts on the books. So yeah, there'll definitely be some sort of follow-up, but along with a follow-up, it'll be just some clarity on how many books were read and what I thought, if I exceeded the 5 or if 5 was all I could manage. So we'll see how it goes. The first book that I will be reading this month is by one of my favorite authors of all time, Audre Lorde, and it is I Am Your Sister. These are some of the collected and unpublished works of Audre Lorde. This book is about 260 or so pages, so it's not the world's biggest read, but it's sizable enough where it should keep me company for at least a day or two if I'm pretty focused. I love her very timely, very prescient thoughts on different issues. And I love that, along with the idea of intersectionality as promoted by Dr. Kimberly Crenshaw, I love how Audre Lorde's work explored that, how these overlaying systems of oppression, I guess you could say, these overlaying systems, how they impact the individual who falls into more than one bucket. So love her work and cannot wait to read this. The next book is by Chinua Achebe, and I hope I said that right. Things Fall Apart. This is a classic. I actually got this book for free at Second and Charles. It was in the giveaway bin. When I saw it, I just knew I had to get it because this book, according to the cover, has sold more than 2 million copies in the US. There are 8 million copies in print in 50 different languages worldwide. And this was back when this was printed quite a few years ago. So this book is not brand new. So I expect that these circulation numbers are even higher now. So because it's a classic, I wanted to read it just to get a sense of the story that has captured so many hearts as written. This book was written in 1959. So coming up on almost 70 years old, about closer to 65 years old. So very, very eager to read this one. The next book, quite different from my others because this is a bit of an advice/self-help book, and that is Drop the Ball, Achieving More by Doing Less by Tiffany Dufu. And I'm excited about this because this is a discussion of how to lighten your load by relinquishing some of the responsibilities you may have been taking on or that may have been placed upon you, and how you can achieve more while doing so. And I thought this was a fascinating topic. I read through a little bit on the back cover and read some reviews, very highly reviewed and highly rated. I'm looking forward to this one. By the way, all books will be in the description box below if you're interested and you want to check them out and get them for yourself. The next 2 books are different from the others. One was essays and personal narratives, basically. One is a novel, one is a self-help book. These next 2 are historical books, I guess you could say. Historical reviews specific to Black history. And the first one is The Power of Pride, Style Makers and Rule Breakers of the Harlem Renaissance, with this fantastic photo of I was going to say Audrey, Josephine Baker on the front. It's late while I'm filming, you guys. Josephine Baker on the front. This book is written by Carol Marks and Diana Edkins, and I love the Harlem Renaissance as a period of creativity and innovation and talent, just so much talent that finally got a chance to really shine in ways that it hadn't in previous years. I'm so excited to read about it. There are some personalities in here that I'm very curious about reading more about, such as Florence Mills. I'm very, very curious about her. I've read about her before, but I'm really fascinated to see what more I can learn from this book. But of course, with Josephine on the front, it's only right that I read this one as well. Normally, I have my Josephine Baker paper doll, but as you all know, I've had Ella accompanying me for the past couple of months, and I have more dolls that I'll eventually switch out for, but for now, Ella's keeping me company. And speaking of Ella, she's actually featured on the cover of this next book, which is Don Bogle's Brown Sugar. So there's Ella right there. If you didn't know, we've got here Josephine Baker, Ella Fitzgerald, Pearl Bailey, Dorothy Dandridge. We've got Lena Horne and Hazel Scott. We've got Ethel Waters, and we've got Moms Mabley on the end. And so I am really, really excited to read this. I started but never finished. And this book, I believe it covers from the 1920s, maybe even a little earlier than the 1920s to the 1960s or 70s. So this has a lot of gorgeous pictures. It says it's 80 years of America's Black female superstars. I'm so excited to get into this. The only thing that could have possibly made this book better would be if these pictures had been available in color. Some of them obviously are not based on when the picture was taken. But yes, I'm so excited for this, to read about these songstresses of years past. And oh, I think I just saw, let's see, let me make sure. Bear with me, you guys. I think I just saw, yes, I did, Florence Mills again. So she's in both books. Obviously, me seeing her twice is a sign that I need to do some more research on her. And I plan on researching her through this book as well as the Power of Pride book. So yeah, those are the books I'm going to read. This one, I almost feel like I'm cheating a little bit putting it on my reading list because it's got so many pictures. It's kind of like reading a thick magazine, but you know, reading is reading, doesn't matter. And my goal is, again, to read those 5 books this month and to share with you all some of my best or favorite takeaways, and to update you on whether I exceeded these 5 books. Because if I get through these 5, the next 2 books on my list is going to be at least one by Octavia Butler. I'm not sure which book yet. I've read Wild Seed, and I read, I forget the other one that I read, but I read 2 of them, and I forget the title of the second one. I'll put it in the description box. But I really want to read one of those books after Wild Seed, but before the last in that series, because the last in the series is the one that I read first, and then I read Wild Seed, and I'm like, I'm all over the place. There is a whole body of work in between that needs to be read. So I'll read one of those. And The Source of Self-Regard by Toni Morrison is one of the last things published under her name before. I don't know if it was published right before her death or if it was published not very long after, but I know the book is not that old. Toni Morrison has been gone for not even 3 years yet. I think it's been 2 years or close to 2 years, something like that. So still mourning her. I will read that and Octavia Butler's book if I can get through these 5. So Oh, good. I'm not over 10 minutes yet, though I'm almost there. So that is it for my Writers Wednesday. It's a book discussion, I guess an intro, something like that. We got some books, gonna read them, gonna get back with you on them and let you know about, I guess, next month's reading list, because March, I believe, is Women's History Month. Pretty sure it's Women's History Month. It's very hard to keep them kind of straight in my mind, which means I will need a new list of books if I want to stay on theme, but don't hold me to it. I may not stay on theme at all. So we'll see. Anyway, that's it for this video. Watch out for Friday's video. I do have another Fiber Friday because I've been doing something that I'm enjoying so far. I filmed the video right before I started and I've been consistent so far. So on Friday, you'll learn all about that. So I hope you all have a great day or evening. Take good care of yourselves and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.